Welcome back to the Stephen Knight Show. Reminder all over social media, Facebook, X, TikTok, and of course our official website, thestephennightshow.com. Rather watch on our YouTube channel, Stephen Knight Show. Stephen A. Smith, he's under fire after defending Donald Trump's claim that Black people likely find him relatable because of his legal troubles. According to Radar Online, the sports journalist appeared on Fox News and shared his views on Donnie's comments. The 56-year-old said some people were upset at Trump's statement. This is what Stephen A. Smith said. He says, Black folks find him relatable because of what he's going through is similar to what Black Americans have gone through. He wasn't lying. He was telling the truth. When you see the law enforcement, and court system, and everything else being exercised against him, it's something that Black folks throughout the nation can relate to. With some of our historic, iconic figures, we've seen that happen throughout society. So no matter race, what ethnicity you may emanate from, we relate to you when you are suffering like that because we know we have, and that's what he articulated. Well, NAACP took to X, formerly known as Twitter, to share the organization's thoughts on Stephen A. Smith's perspective. Relatable? Show of hands. Anyone in your Black family have 88 felony charges pending, filed for bankruptcy 6 times, made an attempt to overthrow the presidential election and our democracy, and still have the ability to fall asleep in court and dream of being POTUS? They tweeted. As you know, Donald Trump is facing 34 felonies charges against him, according to the AP News. Trump allegedly falsified business records to pay off an adult film star, mishandled classified information, obstructed justice. After speaking about his legal charges at the Black Conservative Federation Awards in February, Donald said, a lot of people said that's why Black people like me, because they have been hurt so badly and discriminated against. And they actually view me as being discriminated against. Maybe there's something there. When I did the mugshot in Atlanta, the mugshot was #1. He said Black folks embraced it more than anyone else, and being indicted for he's being indicted for the Black population. That's what he says. And so speaking of the press on Friday in court, Trump called the trial a conservative witch hunt. Chike, what are your thoughts on Stephen A's comments and the NAACP responding?
Why'd you pick me first?
Because
so there is a movement of trying to get that messaging out, and for whatever reason, people think that what one Black person thinks, what one Black person does, we're all going to be a part of that. I don't know where they got that from.
Like we're a monolith. Yeah,
we're not a monolith. That's one. 2, Stephen A. Smith is entitled to his opinion about whatever he feels. However, I just want those ignorant Black folk to know that no matter what you see that man going through, it wouldn't be like that for you.
Nope.
9 times out of 10, all the things that he's allegedly have done, for the allegations, you probably would have been dead. So you wouldn't be able to fight the good old fight. That's a privilege. I hope people aren't out here trying to relate themselves to that, because that is not this at all. But yeah, that's my opinion.
Brittany?
Okay, so first of all, I don't agree with what Stephen A. Smith said. And then also, like, I thought that NAACP's response was very clever, and whoever their PR person is pretty on point with it. But I do think that this is an example of how, I don't know what his beliefs are, but an example of how, like, maybe his intent with his words did not land correctly.
Right.
I do think that what he was trying to say is that out of everybody, we can relate the most with the problems that people face with the law, but that don't mean that any race can understand what we as Black people have gone through. And I think that that relates in a lot of areas, because I find other minorities feeling like they can do certain things or feel like they can relate to us because we're all minorities. And I think that that's the problem. Like, just because we're all minorities does not mean that what Asians have gone through or what Hispanics have gone through is the same as what Black people have gone through. So I think that his words, I don't know what his intention was, but it didn't land right.
Yeah, I heard that he released some lengthy explanation. I didn't see it, but the fact that he was on Fox News speaking this way, it kind of feeds into their narrative in Fox News. But Lanier, what are your thoughts on this?
I'm not a Stephen A. Smith person. It's something about his face. But in any event, yes, he's entitled to his opinion. Stephen A. has primarily voted Democrat throughout his voting years. And I can understand your disappointment with the Democratic Party. That I can understand, period. Where you go off the rails, and one, you're on Fox News. Two, you're on Sean Hannity, whatever that man's name is, who cares nothing about us.
Mm-hmm.
You're on a platform, you're on a station that cares nothing about Black people and what happens with Black people and how Black people are treated, nothing. So to have that conversation on that platform, you further slide into helping them to create this narrative. Roland Martin does such an amazing job at breaking things down.
Yep.
He doesn't lead with emotion, and he's a real journalist.
Mm-hmm.
But what he does, when something comes out, he don't just instantly hop on social media. Roland go do his homework. Then he come, and then he sit on the show. And he broke that whole conversation down. And Roland loves handling the seat on everything that he does.
Yep.
And if you want to take a look at what he said, I think he spent maybe 30 to 45 minutes breaking down that conversation with receipts. With receipts. And it's amazing how you don't really sit with yourself first before you decide to step out into these spaces, because you have a platform. You have a platform. And he's been known to say some outlandish things. Sometimes he can be on point, but other times for me, he doesn't do it for me. So people chalk it up to Stephen being Stephen, but again, when you have a platform like that, you have to be careful.
Yep.
That part.
You have to be careful and responsible.
Yeah. Absolutely.
With the things that you say and the people that you associate yourself with. Like, because it could become a very dangerous, no, it is a dangerous thing. And when you mentioned Earth Day earlier, I just left a comment on somebody's post and I said, Earth is ghetto. Because it's just so much foolishness. And that was it was just unnecessary. Because there are a lot of things he could have just put a period on.
Yeah.
Oh, no, because of who he is and this is what he does.
Let's talk.
And he ain't do his homework.
Yeah, I agree. All right, well, Florida man set himself on fire on Friday, in New York on Friday. He passed away. The incident occurred near the courthouse where Donald Trump's hush money trial was taking place. ABC News reports that the Florida resident Maxwell Azario died early Saturday. Witnesses reported that, per ABC News, that on April 19th at 1:30 p.m., the protester set himself on fire. The man reportedly traveled from Florida to New York for the act. He threw pamphlets filled with accusations against the U.S. government, before covering himself with lighter fluid in the Collect Pond Park. He didn't breach any security checkpoints to reach the park's area. Journalists, protesters, and onlookers were gathered in the vicinity in anticipation of development in Trump's trial and later over the incident. Now, people reportedly screamed at the man's body as it was burning. Many law enforcement officers were in the area when the incident occurred. Some of the police and passerbyers ran to help the emblazed man. He threw, the flames were stopped by extinguishers. He was rushed to the hospital in critical condition and eventually succumbed to his injuries. I remember I saw the video. I was traveling when it happened, but I saw the video. Brittany, they said this man, he was against the Democratic Party and the Republican Party, so he wasn't for either side. He thought he was against government, and this is why he did that. What are your thoughts?
I don't get it. I don't understand. And is this becoming a trend? Because a few months ago, somebody did it outside of Iranian thing for the Palestinian people, and he died too after he set himself on fire. And I don't understand it. Like, I don't get it. You're not trying to kill nobody, and you just gonna burn yourself to death. And then that's the way you want to go. I don't even have a comment because I'm confused. I don't know.
Because initially they thought he was going to be okay, and then when I saw he passed, Linnea, what are your thoughts on this protest?
You know what you can do when you want to protest? You can vote. You can use your right as a citizen of the United States to vote. You can get out. You can protest. You can boycott. There are a lot of other things that you can do than become a blurb in the paper. Because ultimately you're sacrificing yourself for what or who? And at the end of the day, you're leaving behind people who may have loved you for them to pick up the pieces and try to figure out why. It's selfish. I could be wrong, but what did you call attention to? But it is interesting that you can hear people saying in the back they're calling the police before he even lit himself on fire. No cops, and there were cops around, but no one rushed over, So, wow, that's it for me.
Chica.
So part of it for me is that the man was coming to a main stage to perform his protest. I've had other conversations about this very same subject, and like Brittany, people were confused as to why, because in their mind they wanted to pick a side where he was as to why he did what he did. Sometimes you just can't do that. Outside of what's going on now politically with, the division and what's going on, people feel like you have to be on a side of something. Multiple things can be true at the same time. We're all human beings. Everyone is not wrapped too tight. Some people are wrapped differently.
Yeah.
Sometimes when they get a hold of a belief, they really go overboard with their belief because of their mental state. And you have to take that into account. So sometimes in people's minds, it's justification for this protest to go up here and blow myself up in front of all these people to show them this is how passionate I am about whatever this is that I believe. So just know that there's some crazies out there. And because of the big stage that this court procedure is on, it's going to cause a lot of attention from the crazies because it's a main eye on one focused place, so they can get their publicity.
Yeah.
And can I say something that just goes on? Like, mental health is real, so that's why we need stricter gun laws. Because if they're willing to do that. And you can just go get a gun when you turn 18 without a mental health test or anything like that. Like, that is why we have the problems that we have.
I agree. Well, Jill Scott, so let me set it up. Chris Brown released a diss track towards Quavo called, sorry, I just had it, called Weakest Link. So after it came out, you had the internet buzzing. Jill Scott took to X, formerly known as Twitter. And she said, Chris Brown is amazing. How does anyone sing like that, dance, look, act, and rap like that? Beyond gifted. It appears exceptional. People have to go through exceptional fire. There's nothing to debate. Now, users on X responded to her message. Someone said, someone said, drawing and painting skills. They mentioned that he draws and paints. And Jill said, oh, right, I forgot about that. Wow. Some people said, I think the women he abused would disagree. Jill said, I doubt it. My mother's ex-husband was mean, violent, human, and he could lay foundation better than anyone in my city. What he did with cement was awe-inspiring. We got away, he got a raise and praised for his ability. God dealt with the rest. Someone then said, Consequently, Jill Scott was asked to explain her story. The NAACP award winning singer stated that her stepdad had something to offer, despite being sick and hurt and doing cruel things. She said, I forgave him because of his trauma. Did I forget? Never. So I tried my best to choose better. I failed a few times, but not the abusive area. Now, as we know, Chris has a history of abuse, which began in public eye in 2009 after he bruised Brianna's face and busted her lip. In 2017, his ex-girlfriend, Karrueche Tran, accused him of physical abuse and deadly threats in a restraining order petition per TMZ. A judge later granted the petition, setting it in place for 5 years. This history was the theme of some of the reactions to Jill Scott's praise for the singer. Someone said, can't look past Chris Brown's ridiculous history. So many domestic abuse cases. She replied, I love you too, because they started something, I love you. I love you too. I'm not here to fight anyone else's battles. Since women hear the stories, they should avoid the street. Running backwards is moving traffic. It makes no sense. Therapy is for every damn body. And then she went on to other people respond the same kind of thing. She said, Jehovah God Allah is kind and gracious to us. We're all children learning as we grow. Some paths are rocky, but worth it. Some paths are easy like soft serve, but will break you. No path is perfect. We tie our shoestrings and learn how not to fall. And then one girl said, I'll never forgive men who commit crimes against women. And Jill said, and I caution those who refuse to forgive because they will undoubtedly need forgiveness at some point in their lives. We are flawed and need help. Power to people who move past violence. The past is a terrible reminder and the future is ours. Again, this is all related to Chris Brown's diss track to Quavo, The Weakest Link. In the song, people say he got a little personal because he made a comment saying that people wanted him dead instead of Takeoff, and he also implied that he slept with Sweetie, which is Quavo's ex-girlfriend. Jill Scott did believe the song was to what did go deep, but she's been very vocal about these rap beefs or diss tracks. Even when J. Cole and Kendrick Lamar were taking shots at each other, she said that she's not here for the drama, just for the bars and flows. Linnea, so does Jill Scott have a point, or should she have sat this one out? What are your thoughts?
I am so tired of selective outrage.
Mm.
So, she was speaking to his artistry.
Mm-hmm.
She doesn't know him as a person. She was speaking to his artistry. And he is an amazing artist. that has gone through something, unfortunately, in the public eye. Those things were many years ago. And I would hope, and it seems as if he's grown and moved past those, just like the people who were involved in those situations. And the fact that, and it really bothers me when it's our people, how just the constant condemning of, and there's no such word as redemption. There's no such word as forgiveness. He is an artist. You don't have to like him as a person, but he's an artist. And he is an amazing artist, period. And that's what she was speaking to. So there was nothing for her to defend. She was talking about his artistry, period. And to give context, she included her situation with her stepfather. Because at the end of the day, damn near all of us got people in our family that done some things. Some you forgiven and some you haven't. It's chicks right now laying up with dudes they ain't supposed to be laying up with.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just so tired. So it's acknowledging that that man has gone, and she's right, he's going through hell and brimstone. How long does this keep going on? How long does it keep going on? Because I'm a fan, I'm still a fan. I don't care what nobody say. I'm still a fan. I still enjoy his music, and that's what his focus is on. And I pray that his mental health remains strong and steady through all of this, because it's a shame. It's a shame that our people do this. Like, I don't see nobody else doing this today. You understand what I'm saying? You hold them accountable, yes. But how long do you keep doing this?
Right.
How long do you keep doing this?
Yeah. For the record, Quavo released a rebuttal to the song, and in the song he called Chris Brown crackhead Michael Jackson, and said that he said that he dropped the bag the day he hit Rihanna.
But he really didn't. So he really didn't.
Yeah. Brittany, what are your thoughts on it?
I'm a Chris Brown fan, and I think it's bigger than our people. I think a lot of people have unjustly like labeled him as this kind of person, and that people are forgetting he came out when he was a teenager, and he went through like a lot of bumps and bruises growing up as a celebrity teenager. And now he's in his 30s with 3 kids. Like, it is time to move on. Y'all are removing him from the opportunity to perform at award shows, to collab with other artists. Sabrina Claudio refused to do a song with him because of the incident with Rihanna. He was going to do a Michael Jackson tribute. We missed out on that legacy. And at the end of the day, in my mind, he is our generation's Michael Jackson. He can literally do it all. Like, he's so talented. And it's just, like she said, it is selective outrage because Michael Jackson had a history of touching little kids. Kanye crazy and wear trash bags and snatching phones out of paparazzi's hands. And all of y'all be up there at them people shows like nothing happened. So please let me have my Chris Brown, because I'll be seeing them concerts on there and he be looking fun. So I love Chris.
GK, what are your thoughts on this? So, because someone said, I saw someone said that she didn't say anything wrong, but because Jill Scott's always talked about treating women right, empowering Black women, etc., it was awkward coming for her.
It had nothing to do with
but to Lanier's point,
Like,
he's talking about his talent.
Can you not have problems and be a genius at the same time? Like, but can you not, like, what's right is right, and like you both can exist. He can be this kind of person over here, and Brian McKnight had great songs, and look at him talking about his kids are sins, like, and they still got his songs as wedding songs. Like, both can exist.
Chica.
I think Jill Scott is a very competent and capable woman. She knows the power of her platform, and
Mhm.
she said what she said, and she meant what she said. Uh, Knowing that she was going to get blowback about it. And I think that it was a deliberate attempt to start the motion toward us forgiving Chris Brown. And she's not the first person to talk about Chris Brown in, a very public way, in a positive way. And it's because um this man is out here working hard. He's still making money. He's performing these shows. He's just not getting the mainstream attention that maybe non-melanated counterpart would get if they went through the same troubles. Um, Bottom line, when you look at it, because of his history, mainstream can't make any money off of him because they don't know how to market that. They don't know how to spin that. Because how do you spin a black man who is supposed to be a threat in this nation and he's in all y'all little girls' bedrooms on posters? How do we spin that?
Mhm.
They can't. So they let him stay where he is.
Yeah.
But there's a road to redemption and he has to play the game. I think I said this before. Chris, you need to do a reality show. You know you will get the numbers because you have the fan base, and be honest, blank, and raw and open, and go to rehab and all that stuff, and show time with your daughter and how much you love her, and give them some sneak peeks of what you're working on. Do that thing. Do
Right.
it. Do it like they would do it.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I also think that goes to like he is gonna have to show like a side of him to where like he's sorry and learn like I can't give them a reaction even when they poke. Because when he went to that daytime show and they were trying to ask questions and they said he tore up the dressing room in the back, like
Mhm.
you do have to learn when people are trying to get that reaction from you to tear you down. Like I
But
think
that's
that
what they
is a part
said.
of
But
with
it didn't really
maturity.
happen. That was
Hmm?
the whole narrative. It didn't really happen. Like
I thought
that.
it was over a set of questions that was supposed to be asked.
But he didn't tear up the dressing room. No, he was upset, but he didn't tear up the dressing room. That was the same thing when Kelly went, and then they tried to make it seem like Kelly was acting like a diva to save their ass. This is what I'm talking about these narratives that are constantly created. You know what I mean? And he knows who his real friends are. Tank, like there are people who are outwardly support him and embrace him, which is an amazing thing because it's there's this thing. Don't love me in private if you can't love me in public.
Hmm.
I believe in that. Like I appreciate Sierra for for her. You know what I mean? And look at the position that she's in.
Hmm.
People who still like listen, like that. It just makes no sense to just keep holding him in this spot.
Yeah.
When let's keep it all the way funky. When a lot of these white artists go off the rails, they're still marketable. They're still put out there on the forefront, no matter what they do. Let's keep
Listen,
it
the
all the way
person that keeps coming to mind is what's his name? Robert Downey Jr. Do you remember all the trouble that he went through
all the
years and
time.
years and years? And
Yep.
look at him now.
Was one Oscar.
All the time. Even
Hmm.
and I'll go even further. All your favorite football and basketball players, mostly football players who've been getting in trouble for domestic violence, and they still out here playing ball, and they still out here making money, and they still out here getting recognition.
Hmm.
So please spare me the selective outrage.
Yeah.
I'm a woman, and I'm saying that. You know what I mean? Like, don't spare me all of that. And let me remind people, after that whole debacle with him and Rihanna getting into a fight, didn't they do music together after that?
Hmm.
They got back together a little bit after that. They did 2 or 3 songs after that.
She forgave him. Yeah.
And the last one was Nobody's Business.
Hmm.
At that point, Rihanna had to go on and do a little reality thing with Oprah, like 3 series, and take Oprah to her home and how she was so hurt and her childhood, like exactly what Chike said. Like Rihanna had to go through and do this whole walkthrough
But
to do
no,
it behind.
Yeah, but that Chris Brown doesn't need that. He needs to do a whole reality show, like a weekly one that comes on, maybe a half hour to an hour show. Let it be one season, but you give us the drama. I mean, the deep gutter butt drama. I want to
It's
see
gonna be on
tears
Zeus
too.
Network. It's gonna be
Nope,
on
it
Zeus
better
Network.
nope. VH1. Nope. He's a musician. He's going on the musician's channel. VH1. Y'all heard it here first.
Our last story. This is crazy. So, an Ohio school is being dragged after a student is suspended and barred from the prom from bringing corn chips inside the high school. So, according to Atlantic Black Star, the mom of the student believes the punishment for the unorthodox rule is too severe. Miami Valley Career Technology in Clayton, Ohio, reportedly implemented this rule to protect a teacher who is allergic to one of the ingredients in the chips. Amber Guy, the student's mother, said the daughter, Allie, was hungry and offered a tacky chip. I guess that's the corn chip, on the bus. After arriving to school, she had 2 chips left. She ate them and threw the bag in the trash can and headed to class. She was later called to the office. They asked her if she had ate the chips, and she said yes. They suspended her for 5 days. During that 5 day, it's when their prom is, so she wouldn't be allowed to go. Her mom said she tried over 50 dresses before she found the one, and this was very important to her. She said because she's going to be graduating in December, so this will be the only prom she gets to go to. Now, the superintendent, Nick Weldy, for the school confirmed the suspension. A statement was released. It read that the Miami Valley Career Technology Center has taken disciplinary action against a student for noncompliance with an established rule regarding food consumption. They said that they have a staff member who has a severe life-threatening allergy, and they had signs all over saying that the food was not prohibited in that area. And they said that they had all the parents and students were aware of the sign because the parents had to sign the form that indicated this rule, school rule. But the mom, she did try to appeal the suspension, but she lost, and now she's trying to appeal it through the Montgomery County Court of Common Pleas. Brittany, do you think the suspension and bar from the prom is meant? I mean, is it? Do you think it's fair enough punishment?
And I think it's stupid. Like I don't get this either. I think these I don't understand this article either. Uh I think the prom is like a once in a lifetime thing for teenagers. We all remember our proms, and now you banned because you brought in a bag of Takis because one teacher was allergic to it. I don't know. I feel like there's something more to it. Maybe did she throw the bag at the teacher? Like
Throw the trash can in the prohibited area.
so she threw it towards the teacher.
No, she threw the bag in the trash can.
I'm trying to figure because
Right.
in Decatur, Georgia, there's videos going viral of students fighting teachers, sleeping with teachers,
Yeah.
like, and all she did was bring chips to school. I'm confused, so I don't understand this story. I feel like it's unjust. 5 days, 5 days. They couldn't put her in detention for that.
They probably thought she'd bring the chips to detention now.
Do they do Saturday detention still? Is that still a thing? I don't know.
It's cool. Chica, I saw your face look up. Now the teacher has a life-threatening allergy to ingredient.
Wait. I have to stop you right there because that's my point. That part. I don't think that it's as heavy as they say it is. Because if so, that's one hell of an allergy. That's one hell. You're gonna have an allergic reaction from something that's in a bag, that's in the trash, not even in your classroom. That's a hell of
That's
an
so
allergy.
true. How do you go to the grocery store? You don't go down that aisle?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like
But this is so did the prom happen already? Or it's coming up?
It's coming up. I guess usually it's in the summertime.
Listen, students, to protest, y'all should all not go to the wherever they want the prom to happen. Don't go there. All y'all go somewhere else and have the prom with her at some other place. Even if it's just in the parking lot, don't go in the building. Let them waste their money and protest the prom. Support your friend. That's a dumb rule.
Yeah. I do know that I was on a flight one time and they told everyone if you have anything peanut related, throw it away. They came by because there was one person on the plane who had a peanut allergy. And I also heard about, there's been some actors. It was some movie, I can't remember what it was, but the girl, one of the actresses on the set, she was told she couldn't bring a certain food item because the lead actor was allergic to it. So I mean, there's a thing. But Linnea, what are your thoughts on this?
I lost my train of thought. I have to hear the question again.
What are your thoughts?
They didn't put you on the no-fly list though for bringing peanuts on there. That's different. Like
No,
that's
they
like
said
you
something
bringing
wrong.
peanuts on the plane and then being like, "Yep, you can't fly no more for the
I
rest of
mean,
your life."
and
Steven.
after all, this is a child with a one in a lifetime situation about to happen.
Yeah.
That's just cruelty. That's wrong.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is right.
Do you think the punishment was too strict, Linnea?
Yeah, I lost my train of thought, Steven. So I got nothing. I got all I heard was nuts, and it lost me. You lost me. Sorry.
Well, hopefully this girl can go to the prom. Like you said, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity, and she'll remember it for the rest of her life. And so it's not like she, like you said, Brittany fighting the teacher, cussing the teacher out. She
Listen,
put
y'all
a
shouldn't be
bag in the
mean.
trash can.
They shouldn't be mean to prom girls. If anybody saw Carrie, y'all better let her come to that prom.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, can't she just show up anyway? Because they said the mama already bought the dress,
Oh no,
the
I think it would
ticket.
get worse. I think it would get worse if she just showed up. I think that's probably what they want.
Yeah.
But isn't this the season for people to just be doing dumb stuff to students? Because didn't they just cancel a valedictorian and told her she couldn't speak at the ceremony?
They said it wasn't safe.
No, don't use that lie. Don't use that lie. Don't do that. Like she's the valedictorian. Like, what are you talking about? Like that's a once in a lifetime situation.
Yeah.
Like, let me take this
You can sue for anything. So can the mama sue to get the money for the dress back, ticket, and then emotional stress?
You might be able to get
I'm
some
trying to
form
get
of
a little check.
emotional or punitive. She can file. Doesn't necessarily mean she may get it, but anybody can file for anything. We've already had that discussion.
You can sue. I'll be suing.
I still want the school to be protested against because then they'll know that they made a dumb decision. Let them have waste that money on an empty building where that prom was supposed to be.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, listen, thank you as always, ladies, for hot topics. Check out CM Movie Reviews. We'll be right back after this.